Hello, this is our Agents of Erosion presentation. We hope you like it, and today we will be talking about all the different types of erosion that are eroding our Earth every day. What probably happened here was water and sediment slowly carried away and forming this big tribute. This is probably slowly happening here and here. But in the middle, this one is probably much older since it is much deeper. This is our first example of water erosion. What happened here was that water was hitting against this mountain, forcing this chunk to separate from the mountain. This is the second example on how water can erode our Earth. Now we're going to move on to wind erosion. This was probably a really big boulder, about that size. And wind probably carried sediment, and the sediment kicked the boulder until it became like this. This is called a mushroom rock, and this is our first example of wind erosion. The second example of wind erosion is this sand dune. Now, what probably happened here was wind had carried little sediment up in the sky and dropped it here on these sand dunes. This is a second example on how wind can erode our Earth each and every day. Now we are going to move on to ice erosion. What probably happened here was there was a big glacier, and the glacier cut through the land, forming these here mountains. This is the first example of ice erosion. A second example on how ice can erode Earth is by this. This is called a hoodoo, and this is when water carefully seeps in cracks, and then it freezes. That forms ice. So then what happens is that the ice expands, breaking a spot right here, and that's another example of ice erosion. Our next erosion is gravity erosion, and many people don't think of gravity as something that can erode land, but it can. You see, the way this land is tilted, the rocks and sediment can easily roll down the hill and forming a landslide that can erode the Earth. Our last slide is the second example of gravity erosion. The same thing happened whereas when the rocks and sediments roll down the hill. And see, these plants aren't very tough or strong enough to hold in the soil, so that's why sediment and rocks can easily roll down the hill into the ocean. In conclusion, our land is eroding each and every day. And remember that rocks or monuments never look the same again. So thanks for watching, and we really hoped you enjoyed it.